Hey there, this is James Converse, Chief Solutions Architect for ZBrains.net, Zoho CRM Certified Consultant, and Zoho Creator Certified Developer. Here today to talk to you about QuickBooks Desktop integration. It's important to know before we get started that Zoho Corporation has discontinued their QuickBooks Desktop integration, and eventually they will deprecate that. So we built our QuickBooks Desktop integration a couple of years ago when we noticed that Zoho had connected contacts to customers in QuickBooks. So that didn't make a whole lot of sense to us because we're business to business, so we would want to connect accounts to customers. We've had this for a couple years. It really didn't do so well because Zoho had their own integration, but since they've discontinued it, it's been going pretty well. So, all right, how this works is we're actually using webhooks in the setup menu of Zoho. So I'm going to hit setup and go to automation here, and I have my webhooks for the automation area. What webhooks do is they send information to other URLs, okay? And in my case, I'm sending information to my web server, services.agilityintegrations.com. Agility Integrations is our integration site. And I can do that on different rules here in Zoho. So in my case, I'm going to do it on create. I have a bunch of different rules here, but here's on create of an invoice. I'm going to trigger this webhook to be sent, which has my invoice data. And what happens on our web server is we decide, geez, is that a new record? Is it an existing record? When's the last time it was synced with QuickBooks Desktop? All of those different things there. We're mapping data. We're hard coding or transforming data, so we're doing different things on our web server. That's customized for each implementation of the integration. Now, in my case, I'm going to go ahead and just create a new one, and when I do that, I'm just going to clone here so I don't have to type the whole thing in, and I'm going to hit save. It's telling me I'm out of stock in my demo environment here. So I did that, and so it made a new record there in Zoho CRM. Now I'm going to jump to my QuickBooks Desktop, which I have hosted up on Amazon. Now we're using the QuickBooks Web Connector, which is an Intuit tool for getting data in and out of QuickBooks Desktop. And I can see here that I have this particular setting. I can set it to auto run every X number of minutes. 1 minute should be fine. Or I can decide, geez, maybe I want to update it manually. So I would check the box here and then hit update, which is what I'm going to do in this case for this demo. It's important to note, though, that the Web Connector has to be run as an application. It can't be run as a service, which means someone needs to be logged into Windows. Even if someone logs in and just locks the screen, like on your server, or you log into remote and then just disconnect, you can't log off, because when you log off, applications get closed. So I'm going to go ahead and hit update here, and it's going to run. It's probably going to sync more than my one invoice there. But what it's doing is it's pulling information from the web server and putting it in QuickBooks Desktop now. So it's done. If I haven't done the sync for a while, obviously that's going to take a little bit longer. And I should see information. I'm not just seeing invoices here. I'm seeing customers in my QuickBooks Desktop. Now, coming from the other direction, QuickBooks Desktop doesn't have webhooks, so we have to rely on the Web Connector here to sync or pull information from QuickBooks Desktop and push it back up to our web server. So I probably do want to have it syncing every 1 minute. Our web server will catch that information, and if we decide, hey, nothing's changed since the last sync, we're not going to do anything inside of your Zoho CRM system. And the reason for that is because we want to minimize the number of API calls in Zoho CRM. You're limited to 500 per day per user, and many of those you can batch, such as accounts and contacts. You can batch those in 100 or 200 batch intervals. It's called pagination. But with transactional type documents like quotes, sales orders, and invoices, you can't. It's one document or one transaction per API call. So you want to minimize those as much as possible unless you just happen to have a ton of users and not a whole lot of data. The different modules here we're syncing with Zoho CRM are accounts or contacts. If you are B2C, we're syncing quotes, sales orders, invoices, purchase orders, and vendors, as well as products, because you have to have products to have a quote, sales order, or invoice. We can do two-way integration, though most companies don't need that because they decide that, at least for transactional information like an invoice, they're gonna decide which system that they're going to sync with, that they're going to enter that information in, right? They're not going to enter it in both. Now, for accounts or contacts or even products, those you do want to have a two-way sync on, because like if an address changes or something like that, you don't want to have to update the other system. So those you do want a true two-way integration, which means we're maintaining the sync state. What we're not doing at this point is price books or leads, because leads really don't have a home in QuickBooks, or campaigns also doesn't have a home in QuickBooks. What we're adding very soon is a payments integration with QuickBooks. Though it doesn't have a home inside of Zoho CRM, we've created a custom module for that. So you will need to be on Zoho CRM Enterprise if you want to take advantage of it. But that's so you can enter a payment in Zoho CRM and have it show up in QuickBooks, or vice versa. That concludes the short demo today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at solutions@zbrains.net. Thanks so much for coming.